Hello students, my name is Tuba Parveen. I am Assistant Professor in School of Management, Babu Banarsi Das University. In this video, I am going to discuss the topic Roles of a Manager by Henry Mintzberg. Before discussing the roles of a manager, let's discuss who is a manager. So students, manager is a professional who takes a leadership role in an organization and manages a team of employees. Managers are responsible for managing a specific department in their company. There are many types of managers and they have different duties and responsibilities like leading a team, training employees, making decisions, managing the conflicts, managing their department's budget, conducting performance reviews, hiring new employees, and so on. So in this, we are going to discuss the various roles of a manager, or we can say 10 managerial roles which are given by Henry Mintzberg, and they are classified into 3 categories and then they are grouped on the basis of their features. So these 3 roles are interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. So let's discuss each of them one by one. So interpersonal roles. Interpersonal roles are the roles which includes or I can say which are concerned with interactions with people working inside and outside the organization. Basically, the majority of managers' time is spent on interpersonal communication through which things get done. This category contains 3 roles that are figurehead, leader, and liaison. Next is the informational roles. Informational roles category involve creating, receiving, or sharing information with co-workers. The managers collect information from sources both inside and outside the organization, then process it and delivers it to those who need it. This role contains monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. Then third category is the decisional roles. Interpersonal roles are about dealing with people, and informational roles are about dealing with knowledge. But in decisional roles, it is all about action. By communicating with people and using information, managers make decisions that lead the organization to reach its goals. The managerial roles in this category are entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. Now let's discuss each of these managerial roles in the 3 categories in detail. So first one is the interpersonal roles. As I already told you about this category. In this, the first one is figurehead. See, this role requires performing social, ceremonial, and legal responsibilities. The figurehead represents the organization as well as motivates the team to achieve the goals. For people, this managerial role is a source of power and authority. For example, greeting a potential business client or giving a tour. Next role is the leader. The leader role is the most I can say important, as it shows to which extent a manager's potential is realized. Managers are in charge of their people's performance, which may mean leading a team, a department, or an entire organization. The responsibility includes both direct leadership and indirect leadership, that is hiring and training and encouragement of employees. Leaders influence and motivate people, giving them a sense of purpose to reach the organizational goals. For example, a manager sets a goal for the team and communicates his expectations, making sure that people understand them. Then he monitors their progress and provides feedback and resources if required. Next role is the liaison role, or we can pronounce it as liaison. Managers in this role develop and maintain internal and external relationships. They are a connection link that bridges the gap between employees of different levels to ensure work is done smoothly. This role transfers knowledge through different members of the organization up and down the chain of command and can also involve their business contacts from outside the organization. For example, a manager coordinates with people outside the organization, such as buyers, suppliers, and strategic partners. Next role are the informational roles. So in this category, I already told you that it deals with creating, receiving, or sharing information with co-workers. So first informational role is monitor. In the monitor role, managers are expected to look for information necessary for their organization as well as for information that can concern potential industry changes. They gather internal and external sources, trying to identify problems and opportunities for growth. In other words, they scan the environment to assess the current state of things in a company and see if corrective actions is needed. For example, seeking customer feedback to see how exactly you can improve your product or services. Then another example can be monitoring the industry trends like products made by competitors or government regulatory changes in order to meet these standards and stay on the track. So the next role in this category is disseminator. Receiving information from various sources, a manager in the disseminator role is responsible for sharing it with those who may need it. This can be done in both verbal and written form. A manager can pass on information directly to the appropriate person or pass it on between subordinates if they lack the contact. The information can be regarding the organization's direction or strategies or for specific technical issues. For example, a one-to-one conversation between a manager and an employee where certain issues is discussed. Or another example can be developing a proposal for a new product designs or submitting to the upper management for approval and providing it to the employees so that they can get familiarized with it. Next role is the spokesperson. Managers in this role speak for the organization, defending the company's interest. Their responsibility is to make the organization look good in the eyes of the potential or new clients and the general public. For example, a manager speaks on behalf of the company at the conference, or we can say a manager attends the annual stakeholders meeting, informing the attendees about the results the team has achieved, the specific year, and presenting the statistics. Now coming to the seasonal roles. There are 4 roles under this category: entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. So first one is the entrepreneur. In this role, a manager organizes and runs business processes. This role develops and implements new ideas or strategies, which often means coming up with innovative or new solutions. Entrepreneurs create conditions for change since innovations and change are needed for a company to stay competitive. Besides, they also make sure a company adopts new products and processes by others or change the organization structure. For example, a manager decides to use social media to increase the sales of the organization. Or we can say another example is a manager reorganizes a weak department or uses mergers or acquisitions. Next role under decisional roles is the disturbance handler. So a manager solves issues whenever they arise, like sales that grow too slowly, or a client breaking a contract, or some valuable employees leaving the organization. Such kind of issues are solved, or we can say handled, by the manager in the company. The task of a manager in this role is to fix the problems, to maintain the productivity. For example, when 2 members of a team have a conflict, it is the responsibility of managers to help them and to resolve such conflicts. Next role is the resource allocator role. The resource allocator role requires a manager to determine how and where to apply the resources of the organization. By resources, it means the equipments, the staff, the funding, facilities, and timings. Typically, the resources an organization has are limited, so it takes some efforts to decide how to best allocate them. For example, a manager dividing funding between the departments of this organization based on their current and future needs. And another example can be a marketing manager divides funding between media advertisement and promotions. Next is the negotiator role. Managers participate in negotiations trying to reach their goals. This role includes negotiating with external parties where they represent the interest of the organization, as well as negotiating with internal parties such as other departments or other team members of the organization. The better negotiation skill managers have, the higher their chances is to come to an agreement with customers, better organize the work process, and gain access to more resources. For example, a manager negotiates pricing, delivery, and design with customer. A manager also negotiates over access to capital and personnel with seniors. So these are all the 10 roles of a manager that are given by Henry Mintzberg. I hope the topic is clear to you. Thank you.